What is up? What is up, people? Welcome back to more esports talk. A big issue underlying and still prevalent here, at least in America, is gun violence. I know I kind of went from hyped up to a very serious topic, but certainly having serious repercussions. That be around PlayVS and also their partnership with the National Federation of State High Schools, a gigantic partnership which they introduced to Epic Games a few weeks back, adding Fortnite to their competition list for 13,000 plus high schools across America. It could strike a precedence for the future of gaming and esports, especially now with official high school and collegiate leagues starting up. PlayVS and the National Federation of State High Schools partnered with Epic Games to add Fortnite to that list was a gigantic opportunity, which, by the way, an entire state of high schools is already fighting back against, that being the good old state of Kentucky. Their athletic commissioner for state high schools, that being Julianne Tackett, fighting back against this, apparently supposedly did not know about this until very recently, about the partnership and Fortnite being added to their competition list, which they are not for, as she does go on to state even more about this. Also states herself she wants to personally assure you that we, along with the NFHS network, are proactively taking steps to have this decision reversed. There is no place for shooter games, she states, in our schools. This announcement was particularly troubling in that it came on the anniversary of one of Kentucky's darkest days, the Marshall County incident, which led to 2 students passing away in the shooting. Now, with this, of course, a very sensitive topic to touch on. Unfortunately enough, this partnership, the same time of the announcement laid to that anniversary as well, and an all too troubling prevalence we have seen here in America, that being school shootings. Now, on the other side of things, despite this being a very, very lackluster timing, I think it drives the obvious debate of Fortnite being too violent is a very, very weird argument for many of us out there who see it as a children's game. They really play it down to childlike features, to just about everything, to attune to the mass majority audience out there, and the huge player base they do attune to is because of the way they have tried to operate their game and try and avoid the very, very violent FPSs we have seen as compared to the likes of Counter-Strike or Call of Duty. Now, I'm not saying myself personally that CSGO or Call of Duty are that violent, but compared to Fortnite, certainly there is a gigantic difference between Fortnite, Call of Duty, and CSGO, and I think we can probably all agree on that. So it's crazy to see that Kentucky high schools are now saying, no, we don't want Fortnite to be an esport brought to them by PlayVS and the NFHS, which could be a great step forward for esports and gaming, trying to be aligned with high schools and eventually collegiate athletes as well. And all of a sudden, Kentucky is saying no because Fortnite to them is too violent. It's still a shooter. And again, we certainly have to walk the line here in America of sensitivity around these topics, but I find it very bizarre that of all the games out there, Fortnite is too violent. I wonder if the people on this commission have actually sat down to play the game of Fortnite and see exactly what the game is. But again, that's up for their statement. We'll see updates if they can actually reverse that decision made by Kentucky high schools to have Fortnite be an esport. And I myself am a big proponent of this because the future of esports and gaming has to start, obviously, with the youth, and this being one of the biggest games around the entire world. It's a great partnership to be announced, although if some schools are against it, we have seen several schools cry out against this kind of stuff when it comes to Counter-Strike. We've seen many clubs out there, especially in high school esports, say no to games like Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, and I would say have much more of an argument as compared to this one. And even lately, we talked about this just a few months back in 2019, there was an elementary school who forced a kid to change out of his Houston Outlaw jersey because the logo of the Houston Outlaws is made up and composed of 2 guns. So it's a hugely sensitive topic, and now possibly going to be facing repercussions of the high school league now banning Fortnite from its competition. I don't know how this one will go. I have talked to other esports leagues. We talked to the All-Star Esports League not too long ago on this channel, and Fortnite is certainly going to be one of their competitions going forward. So we'll see how this does work, and if an entire state can actually ban Fortnite from high school competitions, I would be incredibly surprised. I will keep you all posted on this, guys. Huge gaming stories, huge esports stories coming all day long. What do you think about this one? Until next time, take care. I'll be back here sometime soon.